it starts this Sunday at Roland Garros, and Kim, the women's tour looks like a 2-horse race with Serena Williams and Justine Henin.
Well,
are they both gonna be up there in the final, or will something happen to blow our dreams?
I think it's a reasonably open draw, really. I mean, Serena Williams, it's a Grand Slam. That's enough reason to say she's in there, she's a favourite. She produces her best tennis at these events. She might have won this just once in her career, but you don't rule Serena out when there's a Grand Slam. Justine Henin, she was the queen of Roland Garros until she retired just before the 2008 tournament. She's won here 4 times before. Her form on clay, it's improving at the moment. She won the title in Stuttgart, which was really promising. That was the first title of her comeback. Probably the one weakness she did expose was her forehand, and if someone like Serena decides to get onto that, that might pose problems. But she deserves to be up there among the favourites.
I mean, and you can see when she's playing on clay, the footwork isn't quite there yet. She's still struggling to move around with that fluid motion that she had when she didn't win those 4 Roland Garros titles. But Serena Williams, she's got the taste for Paris. She loves Paris. She's got an apartment there.
She does.
Is she going to try her all? Because Justine's not going to be seeded number 2 here.
No, she's not, but she will be seeded.
She will be seeded, but that means Serena, if she does face her, might have to face her quite early on.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing, Justine, you don't know where she's going to end up in the draw quite yet. So, the chances of a Serena Williams-Justine Henin final are probably reasonably slim. But there's one player who might get in the way of that, and that's the other Williams, Venus, because she's been in some pretty good form lately.
She's seen her ranking rise up to number 2 in the world now. She's not far from Serena.
Well, she's stated that she wants the number 1 ranking, and it's the first time she's been in the top 2 for 7 years. So Venus is in some really top form, and 2 titles already this year out of 4 finals, and she lost last week in Madrid, but no one would have beaten Aravane Rezai the way she was playing that day. So Venus is primed.
And the only problem with Venus I see is her footwork as well. She's not, mobility-wise, not the greatest on clay.
Well, no, clay's not her surface.
Exactly, and I think she'll be a threat, but will she be able to have that extra footwork that she needs to get around the balls? I'm not quite sure, but she definitely is a threat up there, and
it's taken a lot to beat Venus right now. And the other player who did beat her, apart from Rezai, on clay this season, has been Yelena Jankovic, and she's probably the 4th player that I would say has form and the ability to perhaps be in there as a favourite. We're getting close to the Jankovic of 2008, and that means that a maiden Grand Slam might just be round the corner.
It might be, and the power's back in the shots. The confidence is there. That's the most important thing for Jankovic, and if the confidence is back, she's going to be a big threat, no matter who she plays. So
that's right. So they're my big 4 as the favourites, but there might be an outsider who upsets them. Who do you like?
Oh, I've looked at Sam Stosur. I'm just looking at the stats here. She reached the semi-finals at Indian Wells, quarter-finals at Miami. She won Charleston on the clay. I mean, she has pulled out of Rome. Now, if she's got a lingering injury...
Well, that was arm soreness apparently, and that was after consecutive finals.
But if it lingers around, and in a Grand Slam, obviously, when you're playing quite often in tough matches, that could be a problem. So maybe not Sam Stosur. If there's a slight injury,
I think it was more preventative measure than anything else, to be honest. She was performing better than perhaps we might have expected, because that was consecutive finals in Charleston and then Stuttgart, where she lost to Henin.
But she's definitely shown she's got the form. She's one of the informed players on tour.
And don't forget semi-finalist at Roland Garros last year.
Exactly, and she likes the clay, suits her game, so Sam Stosur's one of them. I'm looking at Ivanovic as well. She's won Roland Garros before. She had an awful start to the year. She went out early on at Miami, Indian Wells. She lost to Radwanska twice in consecutive matches, but she has done well on the clay.
Well, the clay is her favourite surface, and she started to find that confidence, that aggression. She's been going for her shots, and suddenly, Ivanovic is perhaps a contender.
I mean, she took Jankovic to 3 sets, and it was a competitive 3 sets as well, so the confidence is clearly back.
And got her first top 10 wins in a long time in Rome, so she's perhaps, in the mix.
I'm looking at Maria Jose Martinez Sanchez as well. The problem with her is she has one good week and one bad week. She's great on the clay, she likes it, but the inconsistency to her game, I don't know if I could pick her for a winner, just because of that inconsistency that is there.
But she does offer, 1, she's a left-hander, so that is automatically just that bit more difficult. And 2, a game that players don't see a lot. She mixes it up, she serves and volleys, which, in an era of baseliners, can cause some problems.
Yeah, and looking at her stats, quarter-final and semi-final, she won Rome. So she's definitely a threat, and the left-hander does pose a threat because people are not used to playing left-handers.
And it was Jankovic she defeated in the final to win her title this year.
And Rezai, as you mentioned before, was it Madrid that she won?
Yeah, she was so good in that final.
She beat Justine Henin, she beat Jankovic there as well, I think.
Yeah, she did.
And she's looking good, but looking at her stats previously, match results, she hasn't done well this year. It's just this one tournament. Is this a fluke? Is this just one fluky tournament? I hope not, because it's going to be fun to watch her at Roland Garros, but
yeah,
you got to say that at the moment it doesn't look like she's got the consistency in her game to take it into a Grand Slam.
Well, that's right, and that's the big if. All I know though is if she plays for 2 weeks like she did last week, then she's going to be up there at the end of the tournament.
Yep. So there you have it, guys. The women's tour. We like Justine Henin and Serena Williams for the title. Hopefully that will be the final, because that would be just epic for us. Stay tuned and we'll be going through the matches as they happen.